Shakespeare in Stonington has become an island tradition. For 11 seasons, the Bard has trod the boards of the Opera House, beginning with The Tempest in 2001 and continuing with last year's unique repertory performances of Much Ado About Nothing and Timothy Findlay's Elizabeth Rex. What does repertory mean? In this case, one cast performed 2 plays in rehearsal and production simultaneously. While companies often run multiple plays in repertory, in this case the productions were unique in that the plays themselves were linked by both story and characters. Queen Elizabeth I, Elizabeth Rex, takes a seat in her box for Much Ado at the Opera House. And sometime after the play, she arrives at the Island Historical Society's beautiful barn, commanding that Shakespeare's company, known as the Lord Chamberlain's Men, entertain and divert her on the eve of the beheading of her lover, Lord Essex. And thus the second of the 2 plays, Elizabeth Rex, begins.
Give me some drink, I'm dry.
There is nothing but ale, Your Majesty.
The ale is what I want. Now, bear you the lantern.
Running in repertory is double the time commitment and is further complicated by the many restrictions under which a professional cast must work, according to equity union contracts. It also means 2 directors and twice as many costumes, sets, and props.
I know you well enough.
As with all productions at the Opera House, the community is engaged with Shakespeare in Stonington in many aspects, from technical assistance backstage to joining the actors on stage. I'm Cherie Mason, and I was thrilled to be part of both plays, as Ursula in Much Ado and Countess Lady Anne Henslow in Elizabeth.
So young, he's so old. Every morning, the mirror lies.
What might we do for you, madam?
Have you a chair?
A chair? Have we a chair?
Have we a chair?
Have we a chair?
A chair?
Yes, we have
Local
a chair.
actors Morgan Witham and Sasha Zembruski also participated.
Not so, but let them go and be.
This ambitious production began with a week in New York of table work, as it is called. There I met the incredibly talented equity cast, the directors, and several of the production designers. There were only 4 women in the cast, as men playing women's roles was the practice in that century. We read through both plays, each with its own director, Cindy Crute for Much Ado About Nothing, and Peter Richards for Elizabeth Rex. We saw models of the sets, drawings of the costumes, and we heard the early composition of the dance music. As we studied the history of both plays and the period in which they take place, each of us became more immersed in our roles. I watched with fascination as Kathleen Turco-Lyon blackened her teeth to historically match Queen Elizabeth's horrible 15th century teeth. Memorizing Shakespeare was a challenge, but I was inspired by my supportive colleagues. We rehearsed constantly for 6 weeks. Here I am with Aria Lappin, who played Hero, in rehearsal for a scene, and then performing it.
Now begin.
But are you sure Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
The equity players from out of town were in Stonington so long that they became part of the community. We kept hearing how popular they were with the locals. As for me, I came to appreciate what goes into stage acting, my professional experience having been in radio and TV.
I will be deputy, and you, sir, I will have some wine.
While temperatures outside soared, many of us melted in our costumes. Mine had Metropolitan Opera labeled inside. There were 3 petticoats, a girdle, a damask dress, and a wool cape and hood. I brought a scale, and it weighed in at 20 pounds. But all for art. Talk of the productions spread throughout the island and beyond. The uniqueness of the productions, the dazzling acting, the sets, the costumes, the music, the dancing. Soon we were playing to sold-out houses. Many came to see the plays twice. We performed each play 7 times, and once only 2 hours apart, which meant rushing 4.5 miles from the theater to the barn.
No one.
Liar.
What?
Liar!
You pox buffoon!
You overpainted effigy!
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
When the curtain fell after 14 performances, I was bone-tired, but it was the experience of a lifetime.
Who goes there? Give me a moment. Let me have one last moment.
And now the Opera House prepares for Shakespeare in Stonington 2012, with Antony and Cleopatra to be performed in the newly renovated Burnt Cove Church. Craig Baldwin, who you will remember as Beatrice and Ned in last year's productions, is directing and bringing design images he has researched to make this production completely new and original. Be sure to mark your calendar for July 12 to 22 and enjoy another memorable production of Shakespeare in Stonington.